Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and today I received my NEOGEO Arcade Stick Pro in the mail from Amazon. So what I thought I would do would be to unbox it, show you some extended gameplay, and I also wanted to show you that it is very easy to unlock an additional 20 games provided by SNK, so they're legitimate. How easy that is to do to bring your game total up to 40 games. Also, one of the reasons I purchased it now was because Amazon is running a special and it's $100 flat. Being a Prime member, so I got the free shipping. So $100 I got the Arcade Stick Pro, and I also have unlocked the additional 20 games, and I'm going to show you how easy that was to do. And so I think it is an incredible buy at this point. For $100, 40 NEOGEO games, the 20 fighting games that are included, and then also 20 additional games that SNK has released for free for you to add to the Arcade Stick Pro. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to unbox the NEOGEO Arcade Stick Pro, then I'm going to show you how easy it is to unlock, and then I'm going to show you some gameplay. As always, I grab my trusty Punisher knife, and I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. But this is a true unboxing. Haven't opened that box from Amazon at all. As you can see here, the packaging is very nice. I really do like what NEOGEO, what SNK did with the packaging on this. And you look on the back, and it does show you the 20 fighting games that's included initially. And it shows you the minis, so you can connect this Arcade Stick Pro to the mini and use it as an arcade stick on the mini itself. You can connect the mini to the TV and use the Arcade Stick Pro for the controller, and you can also connect the mini controllers to the Arcade Stick Pro and just use the Arcade Stick Pro as your console. And then if you connect that other controller, it does, give you a second player. So this packaging is just, it is really good. It's a quality. They packaged it. All their packaging is quality. They give you a few things there, a quick startup guide, and just some information on some of the accessories they sell for this. But so far, very impressed with the packaging. And I mean, the Arcade Stick Pro does have some heft to it. Now, it has a big metal plate in the bottom of it, and most arcade sticks do. You're gonna want that in there to weigh that stick down. That's not anything out of the ordinary for an arcade stick. So it is hefty. It's and just the sheer size of the Arcade Stick Pro kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. So you get your manual. The manual, of course, is like most manuals. It's gives you your basic information, and it's in probably 35,000 different languages. And then you also get your little white box, and this really resembles, it might even be the same little white box you get with the Mini. But the only things that is included with this stick is the USB power cord. You do not get the power brick. I've plugged it into my PC desktop for power. You also get 4 little rubber feet, and then there is an adapter for you to plug that into the Mini and then plug your arcade stick into it. So if you wanted to use your arcade stick on the Mini, you can do that. And there's your feet, and then you get a little white NEOGEO sticker. That's pretty much it, Not a lot there in that white box, and I do kind of wish that they would have included an HDMI cable and the power brick. I have plenty of HDMI cables, but I did order an extra long one so that I can actually sit back in a chair and use this, because you do have to connect it if you're going to use it as the console. You connect that HDMI cable to your arcade stick, and you can see just, the size of it is just incredible. It's huge. It worked very well on that little TV tray that I got from Walmart, and I'll show you some gameplay, but that's what I had, was just the arcade stick on that TV tray and then using it on my computer monitor. But you get all your buttons there. You get power, you get turbo, and then you also have your start button there, and it's just, you know, the clickiness of the stick. It's a clicky stick now, and so it's got the micro switches in it. It's a square gate, and I'm not really a huge arcade person, but I do know that it is a square gate, and I don't mind that at all. The buttons feel really good. They're very responsive. Man, it's just it's a big unit. And then on the side there, so it's kind of cool how they had this, and I'm I'm kind of struggling to get that open, but they have your USB cable. So if you're going to use this as a controller, as an arcade stick on another system or on the Mini, that's how you would connect it. You take that USB cable out of that compartment and you plug it in, and that's how you use the Arcade Stick Pro. And you can connect it to your PC and use it as an arcade stick on your PC as well. Out of the box, it'll work on Android devices and your PC. There is a dongle that they sell separately that will allow you to connect it to your Nintendo Switch. On the bottom here, you will see this little plug, and if you pull that plug out, you can get a flathead screwdriver in there and actually change the ball top on the arcade stick. Very easy to do, and they've really made this accessible. You can take this apart and replace the buttons. You'd have to check online for the correct size and everything. I'm not gonna mess with that, but people that want to do it, it's very easy for them to do, and there was actually some information on replacing the arcade stick as well. So now we're gonna look at the 20 unlockable games. So all you have to do is download the CD key, and then decompress it, unzip it onto a flash drive, and you can see the flash drive show up there on the screen. Then and you can see I'm showing you there's only 20 games right now out of the box, but if you go down to the little gear, the settings menu, go to system, and then go to unlock, boom, it does it. There's your additional 20 games, just like that. Very easy to do. And so I'm going to show you a little bit extended gameplay here, but I want to show you that all 20 games are there as soon as I get through messing around here. Now you can change the quality of your screen. There's scan lines that you can choose. I like just the pixel perfect setting on the graphics. You can change it to full screen, 4:3 ratio. There's a few other settings there as well. And one of the really cool things is you can now remap the buttons on the arcade stick on each game. So you can set it like a true NEOGEO stick that you would get with the AES or the arcade stick. So let's look at some gameplay. And so you can see all 40 games are included now. And we'll take a look at Metal Slug. We'll play through the first level. Looks great, sounds great, super clear picture now, and it is clearer than the Mini. And I'm not going to disparage you if you like the Mini. I like the Mini myself. But the arcade stick does have a clearer, truer picture. And here's where I'm going to remap the buttons to resemble an AES arcade stick. Then you save it, and there you go. Now you do have to do that for each game that you want to remap the buttons for.
Metal Slug.
So we'll play a little Metal Slug here. It's really cool that you know the first 20 games that they included were all fighting games. And the next 20 that they added, there's a few fighting games in there. You get all your Samurai Showdown games. You get Real Bout, Fatal Fury, Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, which is an excellent game. But it's cool to have a shooter on, a side scroller, you know, some different types of games. One of the games they include also in the next 20 games that you add is League Bowling. I always really enjoyed that. Didn't have it for my AES, but played it on through emulation, and have always kind of liked that game. So it's cool to play it with the Arcade Stick Pro now. And I mean, you know, it's very responsive. I am not one that really notices minimal lag. If the lag is you know, present and it's noticeable, I'll notice it. Like on the Retron 5 that I had, I really noticed it on there. I'm not noticing the lag on here. Now, if you played an AES, I'm sure, on original hardware on a CRT and then played this, I'm sure that there'd be, you know, a little tiny bit of lag. That's you're gonna get that when you play on an HD TV, no matter what. So, but to me, it controls great. The sound is great, and it's more of a true NEOGEO AES experience with that arcade stick. It's just cool. And I really do like the mini controllers that they came out with. I know that they don't have the micro switches in them. It's an analog controller. But, you know, we're so used to, if you've played any, you know, fairly modern game systems, you're going to be used to that analog stick. So that didn't really bother me. They did remap the buttons, and on the Mini, you really don't have any way of changing that. So it's very cool to see that that option is included on the Arcade Stick Pro. And, you know, just playing it through the first level of Metal Slug, and then I'm going to show you some Shock Troopers as well. But man, I'm just really super happy with this purchase for $100. When it first came out, it was $139. They didn't tell you that there was going to be an additional 20 games added, so you just got 20 fighting games. $129, and I couldn't justify it at that point. But once it went down to $100, and I knew, now we know that there's an additional 20 games from SNK officially released by SNK for this arcade stick. That makes a huge difference. And I'm also going to show you do have save states. You have them on the Mini, you also have them on the Arcade Stick Pro. Very easy to use. A lot of these games don't require a save state though, but it's there if you need it. So we'll go out and check out Shock Troopers, one of my favorite games. I didn't have Metal Slug or Shock Troopers on the AES, of course. Man, those games are expensive, and I couldn't afford them. So it's very cool to have it now. Now, all the games are in kind of the Japanese AES version, but a lot of those games you can actually change the language on. I'm going to pick my boy here. As you can tell, this character model is directly modeled from me, of course. I'm sure that they used my likeness and my muscle tone to create this character. It's a little known fact, but yeah, it's true. So, what a fun game this is as well. And the cool thing about having the Japanese versions of the game is there is blood. Now, if you go in and change, there's some of the games, have that option where you can go in and just choose it to be like USA or in the English language. And sometimes that'll actually censor some of the blood out of it. But Shock Troopers, I don't believe, has that option. It's the Japanese version. But the stick is very responsive, and it just really feels like you're playing a NEOGEO AES or arcade MVS. Very cool. And of course, you know, the quality isn't like some of the really cool MVS controllers that you can get now. You know, that quality's not going to stack up against that, but it's still a good quality stick. And the plastic's high quality, it seems like, and this isn't cheap plug and play stuff. It just isn't. So, very happy with this. And of course, Metal Slug and Shock Troopers, great couch co-op games. So if you have that extra controller, this would be a lot of fun. And you do have to, so, you know, if you're going to sit back in your chair and play this on a big screen, which is completely doable, but you have to have that USB, you know, plugged in, and you're going to have a pretty long HDMI cable, of course. You know, you're going to want that length if you want to sit back on a chair. I did, like I said, I was using this on a TV tray and just sitting behind it, and it, you know, it gave me a pretty good arcade experience. It really did. So many good NEOGEO games. Just so many. A lot of good memories. Alright, I'm going to let this boss fight play out and give you my closing thoughts. Well, there you have it. I'm very, very happy with this purchase. You can, of course, use the NEOGEO mini controllers that they came out with. It looks just exactly like a CD controller. It does not have the clicky stick like the arcade stick does. It's an analog stick. But you can get one of those. You can plug it into that Arcade Stick Pro and play couch co-op, two-player versus fighting games. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with this purchase. I highly recommend it. If you can get on there on Amazon, get it for $100. It's completely worth it. So I want to thank you very much for watching this video, staying to the end. And if you like this content, consider subscribing. If you're already subscribed, consider giving me a thumbs up. It just kind of helps me know that you do enjoy these unboxing videos. So thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a safe and great rest of your day.